the winner of Salem Broadcasting's Talk Show of the Year Award and the Virginia Association of Broadcasters Awards for Outstanding Feature Reporting and for Best Documentary, it's the Don Kroah Show on Life-Changing Talk Radio, WAVA.
Hey, how are you? Hello there. Welcome to the Don Kroah Show. Daily conversation, as we say, on things that matter. Important issues that you and I want to talk about, learn about, do something about. We do it every day, Monday through Friday, 4 to 7 each afternoon. Always more fun when you're here with us. And it's a lot of fun when we have my good friend and guest this hour in the studios with me. Mark Livingstone is president of Cornerstone First Financial. They are indeed a mortgage company with high integrity. That's top of their list, but also a great deal of knowledge on the mortgage industry and your needs. So what we've said is, look, get your calls ready, and you can start right now because I haven't seen it happen otherwise yet. Mark comes, and it's like people waiting to get on the bus, you know, and some of them wait to right at the end, and then they run for the bus, and it's too late to get on then. So if you've got mortgage questions of any sort, love to have you join us at 888-293-9282. The advice is free. We won't send you a bill, will we, Mark?
Nope.
By the way, welcome.
Thank you. Good to be here, as always.
Oh, it's great to have you. And I know, as always, your staff is all primed and ready.
That's right.
At the office.
Working overtime this evening, manning the phones.
So we're going to give you that number as well, so that one of two things. If we don't quite get to your question, you can call 202-625-1221. They're there all evening long. Or if you just want to talk to somebody off air, you can do it that way too. But before we get to any of that, quickly, you know, I love the fact that the hand of God is on your company and on you as a person. That's priority to you. And as a matter of fact, I know you have a trip coming up to one of my favorite spots in the world. I've never been to Ethiopia, but certainly a number of African countries. You're going to Ethiopia, right?
That's right. In 2006 and 2008, I went as a team member with McLean Bible Church. Mm-hmm. And I'm just honored that this year they picked me to lead a team of 10 back to Ethiopia. And so we'll be going this summer, 10 of us, to work with the Kalahewitt Church, which is right there in Addis Ababa. And we'll be going out to the outreaches of Addis Ababa into the country to do missions work. We're going to do church planning. We're going to do women's health issues. It's a trip that radically changed my walk. And my prayer is that I can help facilitate some of these members of the team to radically change their walk as well.
It really does, doesn't it? Just I know I've said it, and maybe folks have heard me say it, but I really think it would be such a blessing if every single American could get outside the country just once to see how, as we say, the rest of the world lives. You come back with a whole different appreciation for this great country of ours, but also a respect for these other countries that are doing great things, especially in the Christian community.
Absolutely.
So this is your third trip?
This will be my third trip there, and I was given the opportunity to actually preach at a church just outside of Addis Ababa in Debre Zeit. And one of the things that I said, Don, was, you know, in America, all we are concerned about most of the times is what kind of car do you drive? How big is your home? How much money do you make? What job do you have? And these people over in Ethiopia have, compared to our standards, a lot of times not much at all, and yet they are the happiest people I've ever met on the face of the earth.
Well, I'm sure we'll be hearing from you when you get back. You can kind of tell us what the trip was like. When's it coming up, June?
In June, yes.
Well, we pray that the Lord will make it a blessing, make you a blessing, and bless you as you go both.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah. All right. We're by the way, folks, we're already starting to get calls. Don't miss out on the chance to talk with the experts about your mortgage needs, whether it's refinancing, whether it's reverse mortgage, whether it's first-time mortgage, and all the other things about which I know very little, and that's why I'm glad Mark comes in and helps us. But let's start with what you see currently, how you assess the real estate and mortgage market right now in terms of the trends and rates, where are they going? Well,
we're seeing a great amount of appreciation, Don. Right now, the national average is 8%. And right here in the D.C. metro area, we're seeing about 12% appreciation compared to about 4 or 5 years ago. So that's huge. Really, what's going to get this economy back is going to be housing and jobs. And if we can get housing back on track and interest rates are just so low that's really what it's going to take in my mind. So right now, interest rates are just so incredibly low. Last week, we were offering 3 3/8 on a 30-year fixed. They've moved up just a little bit today and yesterday, so back to about 3 5/8 on a 30-year fixed. With interest rates low, with inventory very tight, right now we're seeing contracts for purchases escalating hugely. I'm doing a loan right now for a D.C. police officer, and the asking price was $385,000. There were a dozen contracts on this property, and it was escalated all the way to $425,000, and that was up in Kensington, Maryland.
So it's becoming a seller's market?
Very much so. It has been all year.
Yeah.
And it's even more so now. The market is on fire.
888-293-9282. I guarantee you this, or as they say down in Louisiana, I guarantee you this is going to be a fast hour. We're going to start with Kathy in Gaithersburg, but if you want to talk with Mark, give us a call at 888-293-9282, 888-293-9282. No question's a dumb one. The teachers used to say the only dumb question's the one you didn't ask, because somebody else will benefit from your particular question about a mortgage or a refi or whatever. Kathy in Gaithersburg, you're up first to get us started. Thanks for calling.
Hey, Kathy.
Hi, how are you?
Excellent. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Good. What can I do for you?
The question I want to ask is, there's the HARP for people who are underwater.
Mm-hmm.
I'm underwater, but I do not have a Freddie Mac or a Fannie Mae loan.
Okay.
And so I want to find out what I can do to my house is $100,000 underwater.
Okay.
I'm 58 years old, and I really don't know what I can do.
Okay. Is it perhaps a VA or FHA loan?
No VA, no FHA. I did it through the state of Maryland. It's called a CDA loan.
Okay.
Which is a community development.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what the A stands for.
Okay.
But
Association.
I've been told that there's really nothing that I can do. And I just wondered what...
You would have to go back directly to the CDA and ask them if they can modify your loan and see if you have any options.
Exactly, and they tell me that I can't, so that means that basically because I don't have an FHA, VA, or one of the other more conventional loans, then I'm kind of
those loans
stuck in a situation of being underwater.
Well, those loans that are not Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac are called non-agency loans, and there's so many of them out there, and the government recognizes that. So there's rumors that there's going to be a program coming out later this summer which is going to allow you and all those listeners that do not have agency loans, Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac, an opportunity to refinance. Now, we know that because it's the federal government that's doing this, it's going to probably be through the FHA, the Federal Housing Authority. So just, look out for that, Kathy. If you want to, you can call my office and get on my database so that I can reach out to you when this program comes out, and I can have the parameters for you and let you know exactly what we can do.
Okay.
Okay, Kathy? And that number at the office, just to let you know, is 202-625-1221.
1221.
Yep.
625-1221.
Exactly. And for those listeners that don't know, Don, what HARP stands for that Kathy mentioned, that's the Housing Affordability Refinance Program, and they just extended it through December of 2015. It was supposed to end at the end of this year, and the government has extended it because they recognize that only half of those people that qualify for the program have taken advantage of it. Right now, 22% of all homes in the country are underwater. That's roughly 6 million people, and only 3 million, just under 3 million people have taken advantage of this program, so therefore they're going to extend it for another 2 years.
We'll take a break, come back with more, and if you want to get in on it, give us a call with your question, 888-293-9282. The office number, as Mark just gave it, is 202-625-1221, 202-625-1221, cornerstonefirst.com on the web. Our number here, 888-293-9282, 888-293-9282. We're coming right back. Love to talk with you. The Don Kroah Show on WAVA. Taking your calls this hour. as we talk about mortgages, interest rates, refinancing, HARP, and a whole lot of other terms and acronyms that I don't understand, but I have somebody here who does. That's why he's here. Mark Livingstone, my good friend, and also, of course, founder and president of a great mortgage company, Cornerstone First Financial. Their website is cornerstonefirst.com. And you can talk with Mark right now, as Jeff's going to do from Reston, by calling 888-293-9282. 888-293-9282. Jeff, you're on.
Hi, can you hear me?
Hey, Jeff, how you doing, buddy?
Doing well. My question is, I'm self-employed. I've had my company has been in place only since October of 2011, and that's my only, that and my wife, those are our only source of income. But a number of refinance companies I've talked to have said that I can't include my income towards any type of refinance, or it wouldn't be considered because I haven't been in business for a full 2 years yet.
Yep.
And so I don't have two, tax returns associated with it.
Correct.
Is that going to be the norm everywhere? Or
Absolutely true. Yes. Unless you were to go to a portfolio lender that was able to look at something like your assets. But right now, most lenders are going to say 2 years is a minimum for self-employed. And then they're going to look at your net income, not your gross. Your adjusted gross income is also called the net. And whatever that is what they'll allow you to use. Otherwise, you're just going to be able to use your wife's income.
And so do I have to have two tax returns since my company's been in business, or just have to be in business for 2 years?
Well, because it's October and it's the end of the year, so it'll be October this year, they likely will wait until you file your tax returns in 2014, or some lenders will look at bank statements. So they'll collect the last 12 months bank statements and look at average deposits, and then they'll look at everything else in order to figure out an income.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Very good.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jeff.
Again, remember, folks, if you happen to not get through or we run out of time, you can call the office, and you can call them right now, but the staff will be on tap throughout the evening, and that number is 202-625-1221. But we have some lines open right now at 888-293-9282. No question's a dumb question. Ask your question it can be about yourself or your business or your home or maybe somebody else. Let's talk with Jackie in Leesburg. Hi, Jackie. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Hey, Jackie.
Go ahead.
Yes, I think my question is more of a financial question. I have a mortgage that is currently at 8%. I owe approximately $50,000 on the mortgage. I'm debating whether to just pay it off or whether to refinance it at a lower rate and to continue with the mortgage. It is basically my only deduction. What would you suggest?
I would suggest that you contact a financial advisor because everyone's situation is different. But if you have the resources to pay off that 8% money, most likely he's going to advise you to do that. But again, I'm not a financial advisor, Jackie. So I would call a financial advisor and ask him or her exactly what you should do.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
And as a matter of fact, Larry Rosenthal is one of our broadcasters and a superb financial advisor.
There you go.
And I'll look that number up and give that here on the air in a moment, too, because you couldn't do better than talking with Larry.
Right.
Let's talk with Peggy in Chantilly. Hi, Peggy.
Hi, Peggy.
Peggy, can you hear me? Hey, Peggy, are you there?
That sounds like a 1950s song.
There she is. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, Peggy.
Hey, can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Thanks. My question is this. We're self-employed. We have our own business, and we haven't generated a profit in the past year. So what can we do to get our interest rate down if we can't show the income? There's got to be a way to do this. How do we do that?
No, unfortunately, if you've been self-employed under 2 years, you're not going to be able to use your income to qualify. Now, unless you have a VA loan, because VA loans, you don't need any income documentation. But if it's not a VA loan, Peggy, then unfortunately you'll have to wait the 2 years.
I mean, we've been self-employed for a lot longer than 2 years.
Okay, what was the problem then? I missed that.
We don't have an income right now.
Oh, okay.
Not generating an income.
Right. Then unfortunately, you're not going to qualify for a loan because they're going to look at your income and your ability to repay the loan. So no one's going to offer you the loan, it sounds like.
except we pay our current mortgage. You know, we've never been late on our payments. We've never missed a payment. That's the part it's so hard to understand.
Right. And I hear you. But the three things that lenders are looking at, Peggy, is your ability to pay, your credit, which I applaud you that you're paying it on time with no income, and then also the collateral, what your home is worth. And so out of those three, you don't meet the criteria with the one, which is income.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Well, I appreciate that. Thank you.
No problem. Thank you, Peggy.
888-293-9282. And if you want to join us, we'd love to have your call and question. If you ask the question and you're not sure, well, maybe it's not a good question, well, chances are somebody else is thinking the same thing and they'll benefit from your making the call. We have some lines open, 888-293-9282. Let's go to Gaithersburg and talk with Lisa. Hi, Lisa. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good.
Hey, Lisa.
Hello. How are you?
Good, thank you. What can I do for you?
My question is more for a friend whose home is being put up for foreclosure sale tomorrow for $11,000. However, he has his loan with a company called Loan Care. And the tactics they've used with him, it's not, it looks like they're doing something shady. So he contacted a lawyer. They went to try and change the locks. However, the home is being rented out. And so because the tenant was in there, they weren't able to change the locks, and he filed something in the court regarding them not coming there to do anything. They want to put the home up for $11,000, and they're giving him basically less time to pay it off to keep the home.
Right.
So he wants to know if there's anything that he can do, how he can go about that.
Well, it sounds like it's above my pay grade, but I would have that attorney that your friend reached out to get involved, Lisa, because really that's going to, I mean, if it's supposed to go to foreclosure tomorrow, that's not a lot of time. So this lawyer needs to get involved and see if he can stop that foreclosure sale.
Okay, even though the paperwork and everything has been filed with the courts, they still have to, because he's reached out to this mortgage company, and they just are not returning his calls at this time.
Right, that's unfortunate. But no, there's nothing that other than calling the attorney and going with the local and state laws about foreclosure. That's what I would recommend.
Okay, great. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, Lisa. Hey, Don.
Yes, go ahead.
Real quick, I wanted to mention to the listeners, because there's a lot of military personnel in the area. We have a new program called VA IRRLS. The IRRL stands for Interest Rate Refinance Reduction Loan. And what it is a VA refinance. And even if you're underwater, which means that you have no equity, as long as you have a 640 credit score, you can refinance with no appraisal, no income documentation, and no cash reserves. And this is huge for the military personnel to give them a shot in the arm as far as taking advantage of these low interest rates, which the VA right now is about 3.25%.
888-293-9282. Good time to call right now. Some lines open. Liz in Arlington, you're on the Don Kroah Show with Mark Livingstone. Go ahead.
Hi, I have a question. I'm going through a divorce right now,
I'm sorry
and we have 4 properties. 2 are rented, and what my husband's living in, and I'm living in the other one. My husband's property is underwater foreclosure, and my question is, how difficult would it be for me to get a loan, because I'm planning to move to another county? How difficult would it be for me after we sell all the properties to get a loan from a new home?
Well, is that loan that's going into foreclosure, are you listed on that loan?
Yes, I am.
You are, so it's going to show up on your credit as a foreclosure, correct?
Yes.
And is there any way we could show that your husband has been making the payments for the last 12 months?
Yes.
Okay, if you can show that he's been making the payments, then we may be able to go to a credit vendor and get that loan taken off for you. Otherwise, with a foreclosure on there, you're looking at 7 years before you can actually qualify for a new mortgage, Liz.
Okay. So if I can't get that out of my credit, then I'm stuck.
If you can't get it out of your credit, you are stuck, correct?
Okay. Thank you very much.
You're welcome, Liz. Good luck.
Okay. Thanks.
888-293-9282. Some good questions, and would love to include yours. We have some other things, of course, we want to talk about as well. You've mentioned HARP. Extended to the end of December 2015.
Yep. And again, that's because so few people, only half of the people that qualify for HARP, the Housing Affordability Refinance Program, have taken advantage of it. So Fannie Mae has announced that they're going to spend millions this summer educating consumers to try and push them to take advantage of this HARP. But Fannie Mae doesn't need to do that because they have me. I'm on the air talking about it.
Speaking of HARP, Teresa in Dumfries, you're on with Mark. Go ahead.
Okay, hi.
Hello.
I have two mortgages. One has been modified to a 3-point-something interest rate. The second one is 8-point-something. And I don't know how to refinance because my loan is not Fannie or Freddie.
And so you're saying the second mortgage is not HARP or the first mortgage?
Both of them.
Okay.
It's the Bank of America, but they're both not Fannie or Freddie.
But you just had it modified, you said, to 3.5%, correct?
Just the first one.
Right. Okay, so there's nothing we want to do with that one. The second loan is a fixed rate loan, correct?
Yes.
So you have an option of contacting Bank of America and asking them if you can turn it into a line of credit, because a home equity loan versus a home equity line of credit has a much higher interest rate. Now, a home equity line of credit has an adjustable rate. It can adjust monthly based on the prime rate. However, it's a lot lower. Right now, the prime rate is around 3.25%. So you can get a much lower rate, and then you'll have the option of paying interest only on that loan, Teresa.
Okay.
So contact Bank of America and ask them if you can switch the home equity loan to a home equity line of credit.
Home equity line of credit.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
And as long as you've made your payments on time in the past 12 months, there should not be a problem with that clause for Bank of America.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you for the call. Remember, the staff will be on call tonight right up through the evening hours. After we've finished up this quick hour, they'll be there as long as you need them to be to talk. And their number is 202-625-1221, 202-625-1221. We still have another full half hour of opportunity for you. Some calls lining up. I see just 2 lines open right now. So if you want to get in the queue, as they say, give us a call at 888-293-9282. 888-293-9282. Right back to your calls with Mark Livingstone in just a moment. Answering your questions about mortgages, no one better to do it than Mark Livingstone and his staff at Cornerstone First Financial. Their website is cornerstonefirst.com. And we're taking your calls live and on the air this hour so you can get a chance to talk with Mark personally. Let's go to Ellicott City and talk with Edward. Hi, Edward. How are you?
I'm doing fine. And thank you, Mark and Don, for taking my call.
Our pleasure.
My question is I had to file for bankruptcy, and I was told that I would have the ability to be able to refinance my mortgage. And I was just wondering if that was true or not.
Yes, that is true. Are you currently going through the bankruptcy now, or has it been discharged?
Going through it now.
Right. Then, unfortunately, there's not going to be any options for you, Edward. You'll have to wait until it's been discharged. And then depending on how much equity you have in the home, if you're refinancing, or how much money you're putting down if you're purchasing, that will be the catalyst for how long you have to wait after a bankruptcy is discharged before you can get another mortgage.
Okay, that makes sense.
Okay?
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Edward.
All right, let's go to Clinton and talk with Angela. Hi, Angela. You're on with Mark Livingstone. Go ahead.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, Angela. How are you?
I'm fine, and you?
Wonderful, thank you. What can I do for you?
My question is, I only caught a snippet, but you were talking about the military loan program.
Right.
And I was wondering, does that, I'm underwater, but do you modify the principal, or are you just modifying the interest rate?
We are modifying the interest rate. So do you currently have a VA loan?
I do.
Excellent. Okay, so this new VA program called EARLS, the interest rate refinance reduction loan, allows you that if you have a 640 or higher credit score, Angela, that you can refinance, and it doesn't matter if you're upside down by any amount. So there's limited income documentation, there's no cash reserves, and we can refinance you and get you a much lower rate. I think the rate today on a VA loan is 3.25%. That's huge. And we are one of the only lenders in the Washington area offering this. In fact, we're getting calls from local banks because their loan officers a lot of times don't have this program, saying, hey, we heard that you have this program. We have these military people that came in and would like you to take care of them. So it's the VA EARLS. Give the office a call, Angela, and we'll take care of you, okay?
Okay, thank Thank you.
You're welcome.
That office number is 202-625-1221, 202-625-1221. If you can't remember the number, and I know it's not easy to remember these numbers, especially if you're driving in your car, just remember cornerstonefirst.com. You can go to the website when you get home, and you'll find the phone number there, and you can call them. They're going to be there this evening as well. Before we go further, a while ago I said I wanted to give a strong recommendation for a good financial advisor. That's Larry Rosenthal, our good friend who, of course, is the founder and president of Rosenthal Wealth Management Group. And that's their website, by the way, rosenthalwealthmanagement.com. But Larry, as many of you know, and others of you should know, you want to tune in on it. Making Money Sense is his program that airs every Saturday morning from 9 to 10 o'clock each Saturday morning right here on 105.1 FM WAVA. So I don't remember exactly who the person was.
Jackie in Leesburg.
Yeah, and she had a question that had to do with finances.
Correct.
So if you need that kind of counsel, couldn't do better than Larry Rosenthal. And you can blame it on me. Call Larry and say, hey, Crow said I should call you and talk to you, and he'll take care of you. All right, let's go to, let me see here, Christy in Silver Spring. You're on with Mark Livingstone.
Hey, Christy.
Hi, Mark. How are you?
Wonderful, thanks. How are you this evening?
I'm great. Thank you so much. I'm calling Mark because my husband and I, we've never purchased a home before. We're in our late 20s, almost 30, and we're definitely interested in purchasing a home in the next 1 to 2 years, but we're focused right now on reducing our debt. So we have a plan to pay off both car notes and my student loans in the next 26 months.
Mm-hmm.
And we're hoping that in that time that would be a good time for us to, purchase a home. But listening to your comment earlier about the seller's market, I'm just wondering if maybe we should modify. I mean, I know you can't give individual financial advice, but if it would be a good idea for us to consider purchasing a home sooner.
It very well may, and again, it's based on your specific situation, Christy. But the thing to keep in mind is that there are three things we look at when we're talking to a potential home buyer, and they are your income. How much income do you make? Because that's going to dictate how much you qualify for. Your credit. Have you paid? Do you show a propensity to pay your bills on time? And then how much, if any, you plan on putting down. There's different programs out there. For example, again, the VA, you can put zero money down. So a lot of people are like, well, Mark, I want to wait until everything's paid off. And that can be, you don't necessarily have to do that. You can still carry some of your debt and still qualify for a nice size mortgage. The rule of thumb, Christy, is to take your gross family income, multiply by 4, and that will give you a good idea of what you're going to qualify for as far as a loan amount on a purchase.
Okay.
Did you get that equation?
Yep, gross family income multiplied by 4.
Right, and then you can adjust upwards or downwards based on factors such as if you have a great credit score, you can move that number higher. If you have a lot of debt, student loans, car loans, you adjust that number lower. But that is where we start with taking somebody's income when we're designing a home loan for them.
So then my follow-up question to that would be, is your office a good place to start, or would a financial advisor such as Larry Rosenthal that Mr. Crow was just speaking about be a good place to start?
I would say give one of our loan officers or myself a call, and we're happy to pull your credit and then go over your credit report with you, Christy, and let you know what we can do to facilitate getting you in a home. Whether it's, I might say, hey, Christy, right now is not the time, but let's wait 6 months. And in those 6 months, let's get your reserves raised. Let's get this car paid off. I can just, counsel you and help you to get in a position that maybe you're not buying a home right now, but maybe 6 months, 12 months down the road. So at least you have a goal in mind and you know how to get to that goal.
Right, and that's exactly what we were looking for. So I will give your office a call another time when you're not on the radio.
Perfect. I look forward to it.
All right, and if you happen to call when they're not in the office, they are going to be there tonight for several hours, but ordinarily just leave a message, and I guarantee they'll get right back to you on your voicemail if you go that route. Jackie in Stafford, you're up next on the Don Kroah Show. Go ahead.
Hi, good evening.
Hello.
My husband and I had a mortgage with Bank of America for about 10 years, and last year they sold it to a company called Aquin.
I know Aquin well.
Okay, and then I started getting all the letters in the mail, bankruptcy, foreclosure, da-da-da-da-da. And we have always paid our mortgage on time or ahead of time. a little bit above the amount. And now the mailbox is always full with various lenders advising us to do a HARP loan. So we are contemplating doing a HARP loan. We're a little nervous about it, though. We're just afraid something will go wrong and the house will end up in foreclosure, even though we've never been late on a mortgage payment.
Well, if you've never been late, then you have a binding contract with your lender, Ocwen, that they can never foreclose on you, Jackie. And when lenders change from Bank of America, say, to Ocwen, nothing can change as far as the term, the rate, or the payment. They have to honor the original contract you signed with Bank of America. So give my office a call or call me later this evening or tomorrow, and I would be happy to run the numbers for you for the HARP loan and see what we can do for you.
Okay, that would be fantastic. Thank
Excellent.
you so much.
Thanks, Jackie. And that number, Jackie, is 202-625-1221.
Okay, great.
Excellent.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Back in a moment. Take some more calls. 888-293-9282. Mark Livingstone, my guest. He's the president of Cornerstone First Financial. Their website is cornerstonefirst.com. That office number is 202-625-1221. Some lines open here right now. 888-293-9282. Taking your calls on mortgages and mortgage questions, interest rates, and so forth. And, of course, our guest here helping me, seriously helping host the show this hour, Mark Livingstone, Cornerstone First Financial. Sandy in Manassas, you're on with Mark. Go ahead. Sandy.
Hi, yes. I'd like to ask about reverse mortgage. Do you ever recommend it?
Excellent question, Sandy. I love reverse mortgage questions. They're not for everybody, but I've done dozens of them, dozens of reverse mortgages where they have helped homeowners, seniors, enjoy their golden years. As you know, a reverse mortgage, you have to be at least 62 years or older, and you can get the money one of three ways: a line of credit, a lump sum, or what I call 10-year plan, which is monthly payments. Are you thinking about a reverse mortgage, Sandy?
Well, I'm thinking about it, not seriously. I wanted to get more information on it before I make a decision. Excellent.
Okay. Well, for free, no strings attached, we can run a proposal for you, and I'll print it out and mail it to you, and it'll give you an idea of how much you qualify for, what the closing costs are. It'll have frequently asked questions. The proposal's 20 pages, and it's designed specific for you, Sandy, because what we do is all reverse mortgages are regulated by HUD. So when we talk to a senior, we find out their date of birth, how much they owe on their current property, and then how much the home is worth. Those three things will tell us exactly how much you qualify for. We put it in a proposal and then send it to you. And then it tells you everything that Sandy in Manassas needs to know about the specific reverse mortgage for her.
Okay, that sounds excellent. So I'll call your office?
Yes, please do. In fact, or you can send me an email, mark@cornerstonefirst.com, and I'd be happy to work with you, Sandy. In fact, after the counseling, we have to have a counseling certificate from a non-interested third party. And so once you have your counseling, I'm happy to come out to Manassas and meet with you personally to go over your options for the reverse mortgage.
All right, Mark. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
My pleasure, Sandy. Hope to hear from you.
Thank you. God bless you.
God bless you. Thank you.
888-293-9282. Let's talk with Tina in Bowie. Tina, you're on with Mark Livingstone.
Hi, Mark. How are you?
Great, Tina. How you doing this evening?
Good. I have a quick question. My husband and I purchased a brand new home 3 years ago with the intent on just staying there for 5 years so we can move back to our old county with a better school system and everything for the kids. So now recently we found out that the builders are going to continue out and build phase 2 of the area. They're going to bring more retail, more townhomes, fitness centers, and I guess, that should make the area appraised. So now we're kind of stuck. My husband and I are like, do we move now? Or, I'm sorry, in 2 more years, which would have made it the 5 years that we originally planned on moving? Or do we just kind of wait it out since we have our kids in private school now? So I guess my question is, when do you know when to leave, when to stay?
I mean, that's specifically up to you and your husband, Tina. I would pray on it And just when you feel a sense of peace, I mean, you said that one of your goals was the school systems. So you need to weigh the options of the school systems, when you'll have enough equity in the home that maybe you can take some money and put it down into a new home. It's all up to you.
Very subjective.
Thank you.
Does that help, Tina?
I'm sorry, I didn't catch the last part. You said what?
I said it's very subjective. It really is, as Mark said so well. Something that only you folks can decide, because you have all the variables that you have to weigh.
Yeah, and I think part of the fear is if we leave in the next 2 years and then the area, appreciates greatly, then we'll be kicking ourselves, thinking, hey, we had this wonderful house, but...
Right, but does it meet your goals? And your goal, you originally said, was for the school system. So
Correct.
You have to weigh those options, pray on it, and then move from there.
Okay, great. And then one more question. I'm active duty, and I was contacted by Chase, saying that our townhome is now eligible for a service member act, some kind of program where they can give us a 4% interest rate as opposed to a 5.6 interest rate.
Okay.
Is that HARP? Is that a version of HARP? Or?
Well, if you're a service personnel, you qualify for the VA loan, and a lot of people can move from a conforming loan to a VA loan and go to 100% of the value of their home and take money out to use it for anything else. So whether you have a VA loan or not, if it's conforming, you can take a VA loan out, or you can go VA to VA. But again, call me at the office and we can go over your specific situation. Okay, Tina?
Okay, great. Thank you.
You're welcome. Have a good evening.
Let's go to Bob in Columbia. We're running out of time here. Want to get to as many as we can. Hi, Bob. Thanks for waiting.
Hello. I wanted to ask if you offer a lot or land to construction to mortgage single closing loan product.
Unfortunately, we at Cornerstone do not. I have somebody that I refer them to at a local bank, and in turn, this local bank sends me all their VA, FHA, and reverse mortgages. So I can get you that name and contact. Just call me at the office or send me an email at mark@cornerstonefirst.com.
All right. Great. Thank you.
Thanks, you, Bob.
Let's get another one in before the break. Lynn in Woodbridge. Hi, Lynn.
Hi. Good evening, gentlemen.
Hello. What can I do for you?
I have two questions. First question.
Make it quick. We're running out of time.
Okay. We have a VA loan, and it's 4 point something. At what point, if it's a 4 point something loan, is it worth it to refinance and get a 3 1/4 loan? Should it be a full?
It depends on the loan size, but at 3 1/4, even if you're above 3.99, it behooves you to allow us to just at least run the numbers for you.
Okay, gotcha. Second question. Before I got married, right after I got married, the home that I owned by myself was foreclosed. My husband and I lost our jobs. How long will that stay on my credit?
The foreclosure will stay on your credit for 7 years, but it doesn't mean that is detrimental enough to keep you from getting another loan.
Got to go on that note. I'm sorry, Lynn, but if you want to talk further on these issues, I don't mean to cut you off, but we're right against the clock, and you can call anytime. Follow up on a couple of those questions with Mark or his staff if you'd like at the office, 202-625-1221, 202-625-1221. A few more minutes here on the show. We have 3 or 4 more calls we want to try to get to. All right, quickly back to the phones. Let's talk with Rose in Damascus. Hi, Rose. You're on with Mark Livingstone.
Hey, Rose.
Hi, Mark. How are you?
Wonderful. What's going on in Damascus?
I just have a quick question. I have a 30-year VA loan at 5.5 that I want to refinance to a 15-year. But my question is, I've asked a couple different lenders, and I get a different answer each time. One tried to convince me to stick to the VA and go 15, but I realized that they told me there's going to be a $3,000 plus VA funding fee.
Correct.
Or to go to a conventional loan at a lower interest rate. I can get a lower interest rate, but I have to include a point in there to do so.
Well, you don't necessarily need to have the point, but let me ask you this. Do you have enough equity in your house to have 20% equity so there's no mortgage insurance?
Yes.
Okay, then you should go to conventional, and then there's no point.
Okay.
Then no origination point is what I'm saying. There's a point to doing it, but no origination point. You get it?
But they said I can go a lower point. I mean, I can even go even lower in an interest rate.
Right, you can if you pay points, but understand on a refinance, points are not tax deductible, but they are on a purchase. So I never recommend paying points on a refinance.
Okay.
All right.
So switching, I only have 20 years left. I have 20 years left on this one to a 15-year.
Yep.
So overall, even with closing costs, I'll still be ahead.
Absolutely. Yep.
Okay.
15-year fix today is right around 2 3/4 with 0 points.
Oh, okay. Because they quoted me much higher at 3-something.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. Perfect, Rose. Thank you.
Right,
bye.
Daniel in Gaithersburg. You're up next. Go ahead.
Yes. Do you hear me?
I hear you, Daniel. What's going on, buddy?
Yeah, I have a home which is really underwater by about 100,000.
Okay.
And my loan is FHA 4%. And I don't know when I'm going to get equity down the road. Maybe.
Let me ask you this: when did you originate?
What are the options I have for this loan? No?
Well, when did you originate the current FHA loan?
Originated 2008.
Excellent. As long as it's before April 30th of 2009, you qualify to refinance, streamline with no higher mortgage insurance. So you will save, I can get you down around 3.25%. See, if you have taken out an FHA loan in the last 2 years, the mortgage insurance, monthly mortgage insurance has increased so much that a lot of times it usurps the savings that you would otherwise incur by taking the lower interest rate. So some people, it doesn't make sense. But because your loan was originated in 2008, we can not only get you a lower rate, but lower monthly mortgage insurance, Daniel. Okay?
But my question was, any option for principal reduction and interest reduction, because the current interest rate I have is 4%.
Right. We might be able to do a 20-year or 15-year, Daniel. We'll have to look at that individually, okay?
Okay.
So give us a call at the office, 202-625-1221.
Well, I can't. Well, I knew the hour would go fast. It always does.
Always does.
Yeah, and my apologies to those who couldn't get on. But listen, just call that number. You can even call it right now at 202-625-1221. If you want to talk with Mark personally, you say, hey, I want to talk to the head guy. His staff will give deference and make sure the boss talks to you, or he'll get back to you. But they're all going to be there for several hours this evening. You're going back to the office, right?
Right, and then dinner at like 7:30.
Oh, you have to take time for dinner.
Absolutely. Some of the guys are there till 11, so give us a call.
All right. Thanks. Always good to talk with you, Mark.
Always good to see you, Don. Definitely.
My best to the staff over there. And thank you, folks, for spending this hour with us. And we do have some other good things coming up. I want to invite you to stay tuned. I've got, once in a while, we do re-air things, not because there's nothing else to talk about. Believe me, there's plenty to talk about. But once in a while, we have topics and guests and subjects that really need to be revisited. And we have a couple of those coming up in this next hour as part of the hour. So hope you'll stay with us. And again, thanks to Mark for coming by. And thank you for spending any part of this hour with us. And again, call them at the office, 202-625-1221. That's 202-625-1221. Can't remember that number? You're in the car. Just go to cornerstonefirst.com on the web. You remember that, and then you can pick the phone number up there.